Hey, what's up there, YouTubers and those who may be watching this on Facebook? It's me again, Brian, aka Gamer, excuse me, 55551, and I am back with a video review. And for this review, we're going to be taking a look at Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet Complete Edition for the Nintendo Switch. Also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam, but we'll be looking at the Switch version, obviously. And for those who are curious, though, this is a imported version. I got this through PlayAsia, through the European version. As far as the North American version goes, it's only available via the Nintendo eShop. That said, the Switch is region free, so if you want to get a physical version, you'll have to import it, though. And if you're interested in any gameplay footage, I'll have a link in the description, and you could check it out, though. As I mentioned with Hallow Realization when I did a review on that one, I think maybe a couple months ago, though, the Sword Art Online series is a series I've started to get into a lot, though. Even though I may not be the biggest anime fan or anything like that, there are some animes I certainly like, and as I mentioned, Sword Art Online is one that I've started to get more and more into though. The last one that I did a review on was Hallow Realization, and while there were certainly some things I liked, like the gameplay was fun, it kind of gave off a bit of a Bandai's Tales series and a Xenoblade Chronicles feel to it, there are certainly some things I didn't like basically them treating your character like you were the main character, Kikyo, and so forth. But either way, it was still an enjoyable game. I mean, it won't give Xenoblade or Tales a run for its money, but it was still enjoyable nevertheless, and was one of the few licensed games that I enjoyed, though. So now, Bandai Namco releases another Sword Art Online game, and this one is the form of Fatal Bullet. Now, I've heard some reviews about this one. Some reviewers didn't like it and so forth and all that stuff. But after playing the game, playing a little bit of the game, not to mention playing most of it when I was in my trip to Europe, I honestly will have to say that I actually enjoyed this one, though. While I don't think it's going to give a certain popular looter shooter like Borderlands or anything like that a run for its money, it's still an enjoyable game, at least in my view, nevertheless. So why don't we get started with the pros and the cons? So we'll start off with the first one, which is the pros. So let's start with that one. The first one I would like to say, and there's only 2 pros and 2 cons, I'd just like to point that out. First, I want to point out that I like the idea of the whole shooting and RPG mechanics, though. This is one of the things that kind of attracted me towards the Borderlands series. I'm a big fan of the idea of combining, the first-person shooter with RPG mechanics, and I like the idea that they did this with Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Basically, it's a third-person shooter, but it also has a lot of RPG mechanics. Although, the way the RPGs or leveling up works in this game is a little bit different than, say, other RPGs, where after you leave the area and all that stuff, you then earn, like money and all that stuff, and then you basically are able to level up your character and so forth. But either way, I like the whole third-person shooter and RPG combination. It's really an interesting concept, and I like this approach, and I like that you definitely do, to a certain degree. I'm not saying it's full-on Borderlands or anything like that, but you do kind of get a little bit of a Borderlands vibe out of it. So, as far as the gameplay mechanics and all that stuff, I just like the whole idea, like the whole shooting RPG combination. In this case, it's a third-person shooter RPG combination. And last but not least is the whole character creation and the story. One of my complaints I had with Hallow Realization, I probably mentioned this earlier, was the fact that while the story was kind of interesting, it was more towards those who are Sword Art Online fans, even if it's non-canon, and obviously this one is also non-canon to a certain degree. One of the complaints I had about it was, no matter how you created your character in either way, they're going to treat you like you are the main character from the Sword Art Online series, Kikyo. And that was probably one of the complaints I had with the game and all that stuff. But in this one, they made an improvement on that, where no matter what your character is, no matter if you choose a male or female character and all that stuff, everyone will treat you as that character. We won't treat you like your Kikyo or anything like that. I mean, you'll meet Kikyo and so forth, and you'll meet all the characters from the Sword Art Online series, even though the story is, well, non-canon or anything like that. So I like how they handle the character creation this time around. It's a little bit better than Hallow Realization was, and to some degree I do find the story a bit more interesting than Hallow Realization was. Not that Hallow Realization story was bad or anything like that, but I just like this one a little bit more than, say, Hallow Realization. Although I will say as far as gameplay goes, both of them have their both strengths. Hallow Realization is more like towards those who are fans of the Tales and Xenoblade Chronicles series. Fatal Bullet is more geared towards those who like the whole Borderlands approach, the whole shooting RPG combination, and so forth. But either way, I will say character creation and story, in at least from my view, is a little bit better than Hallow Realization was, if I'm saying the name correctly. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to get to part 2, which will be the cons. And there are really only 2 cons I could think of as regards for Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. So we'll take a quick break, and we will be right back. Okay, and we are back with part 2 of our video review of Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet for the Nintendo Switch. As I said before, also available on the PS4, Xbox One, and PC via Steam. So now that I gave you the pros, why don't we get started with the cons? And like the pros, there are only 2 cons I could think of in regards to Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet on the Switch. We'll start off with the first one, and that is the visuals. And I will say, as far as the visual goes, like Hallow Realization, they're kind of a hit and miss. I will say, to a certain degree, I will say the visuals are somewhat better than Hallow Realization, but there are times where there are some areas where the game looks fine, and there are times where some areas just don't look as impressive as they should be. I mean, again, same with the enemies design. Some of them look nice, some of them don't look exactly nice at all. I mean, it's not a huge deal breaker or anything like that, and most of the character animation looks fine and all. I mean, they look like their anime counterpart and so forth, but from a visual perspective, it's kind of a hit and a miss in some areas. Like I said, some areas are going to look nice, some areas not so much. And last but not least is your AI partners, though. Now, I've been playing the game mostly in the single player part, though, and I will say, for the most part, your AI partner works perfectly fine, though. I mean, you can command them to do stuff like focus on healing or act freely or hold a position or something like that. But for the most part, they'll attack the enemies right on and so forth. And especially, not to mention, one of them, you can also arm them with the same weapons as you have as well. So for the most part, the AI partners work alright. But there are times when they can be a little bit annoying sometimes. One good example is in the case of, let's say, if I'm going through one of the dungeons and there's an area I need to get up to, sometimes your AI partners will get in the way and don't exactly, well, they exactly can sort of block your way. Like if I'm going up a flight of stairs, they might be in the way if the stairs are like narrow. Other times they won't reach an area you need meet up with you in that area until maybe like you go like a little bit further through the level and all that stuff, or further through the dungeon. So the AI partner can be annoying sometimes. Yes, like I said, the AI works. There are times when the AI works just fine, but there are also times when your AI partner can be sort of annoying sometimes, at least based on my time with it, though. Overall, I do enjoy Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. I like the whole third-person shooter RPG combination and all that stuff. And I will say, I'm glad that at least with the story, they made it some improvement over Hallow Realization, where not everyone's going to treat you like you are the main Sword Art Online character, Kikyo, and so forth. So this game is definitely has made some improvements over Hallow Realization, but not everything is 100% perfect. The visuals, like I mentioned, are hit and miss, and your AI partner can be sometimes annoying at certain times. But it did not stop me from at least enjoying the game, and I certainly do feel the game does, to a certain degree, does sort of give off a little bit of a Borderlands vibe. Do I think it's going to overtake Borderlands? Obviously not. I don't see that. I don't see Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet doing anything like that. But I will say, for those who own a Nintendo Switch, this is probably the closest thing, at least at the moment, though, of a Borderlands-like game, until like Gearbox actually ever brings a Borderlands to the Nintendo Switch, if they ever do that. But either way, I enjoy the game. I am a fan of, mostly because I'm a fan of the Sword Art Online series, and I do like the gameplay, the whole shooting, the whole third-person shooting and RPG combination in the game and so forth. I mean, yes, it may not appeal to everybody, but if you're a fan of, say, the Sword Art Online series, then it is another entry to take a look at as well for the Nintendo Switch. Unless you have it for the PS4 or Xbox One or PC, then the only reason I would recommend the Switch version is if you like the idea of not only playing it at home, but bringing it with you on the go. So overall, I like the game. I enjoyed it. I think it's fun. I don't see it giving Borderlands a run for its money, but I still enjoy it nevertheless. Here's to hoping to see more entries of the Sword Art Online video games come to Nintendo Switch. I would love to see more entries happen, whether it's some of the older games or some of the brand new ones. That would be great. So, my overall take, I enjoy it. I don't see it giving. I do not believe this game will give Borderlands a run for its money, but I still enjoyed it nevertheless. Okay, this concludes my video review of Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet for the Nintendo Switch. And again, these are my opinion. What are yours? What are your thoughts about the game? Have you played it on the Nintendo Switch yet? Have you played it on any other systems like the PS4, Xbox One, or PC via Steam? Did you enjoy the game? Did you not enjoy the game at all? Do you like the idea of combining shooting, third-person shooter with RPG mechanics in the game and all? Do you agree with what I said in this video? Do you disagree? Do you have a difference of opinion? As always, sound off in the comment section below. Let me know what you think, and I hope you hit that like button. I would appreciate it, and I hope you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, and if you do, make sure you hit the bell icon for notifications of any new videos I put up. Also, feel free to share this video if you want to, and feel free to donate to my channel if you like. You could do it through PayPal me or Patreon. Links will be in the description of this YouTube video, and I will see you again next time when I do another video. Hopefully that'll be soon. Until then, from Southern California, I wish you all a good day then. Bye!